Hello, good afternoon. It's me, TK, Coach on the Rocks. Lovely to see you. If you're here, give me a wave, say hi. I'll say hey back to you. Um, Hopefully, you're having a wonderful day and a wonderful week. Um, yeah, it's quite cool where I am too, so that's great. I'm traveling today, so tomorrow might be a special Coach on the Rocks episode, but actually, this is quite topical when it comes to what I wanted to talk about today because I wanted to talk about taking people on a journey. It's probably no surprise for you that I'm a bit of an overthinker. By which I mean, not that I like to talk to myself, but I do think a lot about strategy, about where we're supposed to go as a business, about the work we do, quite a lot. So what happens is I often take a good couple of steps in my own thoughts, process information, and obviously take initiative for action. So I remember maybe 2 years ago, I said, "Oh, enough is enough. We need to do something with our content marketing," and I started running LinkedIn events. Back then, I was doing it on Zoom and with Miro. You might remember these. Hopefully, some of you have been there. Um, but there was a bit of a challenge. And it was in a very surprising area that you're probably not thinking about, which is my business partners, as I was doing that, and I was telling them I'm doing that, thought, it's like, what's going on there? Why are you doing these things? Why are you telling us all about, your strategy for inviting people, your strategy for events, for content marketing and promoting them? They had no understanding why and what I'm really doing because I thought, okay, this is my initiative. I'm doing this stuff. Um, and it suddenly became, successful. I had thousands of people joining. As I know you're listening now. Some of you might remember this time. And what my business partners said to me and other members of my team is, TK, you haven't taken us on a journey. We don't really understand why you're doing it, what you want to get from it, what are your hypotheses, and so on and so forth. And I thought to myself, why is that? Isn't that obvious? Haven't I told you? And I realized that I definitely thought about telling them, but I didn't. So that was quite a learning experience, and I was maybe quite disappointed by the fact that I was taking such a great initiative and it wasn't appreciated. But in fact, it was. It's just I haven't communicated it correctly, and I've made assumptions, and I haven't taken my team on a journey that I took myself. Nowadays, thankfully, I do know better. I do know better that just because I think something, just because I became passionate about something, doesn't really mean that the rest of my team will feel the same. Obviously. Now, it's an easy bias to fall into just because you're thinking about it too much and you're getting so passionate about it that you might not be able to see what other people are saying. Especially, if you have a remote first company, it's easy to sometimes opt for silence. And we unfortunately have had that. Thankfully, we now know how to deal with that. Essentially, every time now I'm coming up with an initiative, and my business partners and team members and associates are, um, we know we need to take each other on a journey. From the moment we came up with a particular idea to the moment that we arrived at this particular time. And be humble. Be humble that other people may come up with different conclusions and may actually not be as excited as you are about certain things. This seems obvious, but I would liken it to political discourse. Many people are entrenched in their positions, and sometimes I don't even feel like discussing stuff with them. It's like this, remote, in person, hybrid discussion. It's like, this is so loaded now that you probably have an opinion. I don't even want to talk about it, debate it, just because you thought about it so much and your position is quite entrenched. I think what we need to do is de-bias ourselves and find this bias quite actively, knowing that the other person may have had a different journey to reach different conclusions, or they may not have had the journey at all. So it's our task, it's our responsibility as leaders to bring people there, especially if we're leading a team or a bigger organization, because it's not enough to say, oh, we're doing this, we're doing that. I think that, for true motivation and for a true buy-in, people need to understand the journey it took you to get there as a leader, so they can understand why they should invest their efforts. And by the way, paying people is not enough to help to get their motivation and get them to feel really to have some ownership in what they do. And yeah, taking people on a journey is important. Nowadays, I do. I remember telling my team that I have this wicked idea. I'll be live streaming every day. But guess what? I've explained why I had this idea, why I thought is a form of content creation and content marketing and artistic and creative expression that suits my style. And I also told them, you might think it's silly, but these are the numbers I will measure. I, by the way, am measuring you, so if you're here, give me a thumbs up or say hi, because maybe I'm doing them impromptu. Maybe I'm doing them at different times, but I do hope you're watching. And if you're enjoying them, thank you so much. You actually can come to the Humble Breakfast Jam tomorrow in the morning, and I hopefully will be able to broadcast tomorrow from a bit of a different location, so let that be a surprise. Have an amazing day. Bye bye.